experience. Both players know the ins and outs of these matchups, especially Zion knows how to play it from the Victor side. And this is going to be interesting because whoever gets pushed in the mid lane and is able to move around the map is going to help their team tremendous. And if you see the Victor is coming up to the top lane and is being able to force the Ornn away from waves, enable the Jax, it's going to be huge.
And UCAM now, we're on to the Rift here for Game 4. They're trying to sew this one up, complete the 3-1. A decisive victory it would be over Heretics. Whereas this team, the EU Masters champions, Superliga champions, the favorites, coming into today, they're trying to barely make it to the 5th game in the series. It's not the story that anyone thought we'd have, but this is where we have arrived. Now let's see who can get the job done.
And as we can see, we see the mid lane, and we see that Heretics is making sure that he's getting the prior, and he seems to be understanding the matchup, because you know, if you are first in map and you start ordering, you will get the prior unless Orianna is able to clear all of the minions. And we coming into this game, both junglers start bot side, and
oh my god, the level 1.
Trading.
The full committal. Jax Legends used both the summoners. The first blood for Zamalek with Ezreal Yuumi. Time and again, the UCAM bot lane just keep gapping it.
Bot gap coming through. Duel has said it. Ezreal Yuumi, this is not a lane where you think, oh, there's 2v2 power. They say it doesn't really matter what champion you play, as long as you let those skill shots, you are heavily coming in. First blood for the side of UCAM. Ezreal gets a kill, Ezreal gets reset, gets a very early on tier, and the wave for bomb. Oh, by they're looking for another kill.
No, one last Q, you can't surely. Okay, Whiten will get away, and there's a punish into mid lane. Blurzor forces the early flash out of the Victor, something back for the Heretics.
Definitely good pickup, because now they can like regank that lane, but it spells disaster. Yes, the Sejuani. The Seraphine is able to TP back into lane, but this is not the start that you want to have. You want the spot lane to be isolated 2v2 and just farming up and scale up. And now it's looking like this. Holy moly. UCAM is showing up, and UCAM is showing why they are 2-1 up in the series.
Exactly, right? The early game has been such a struggle for Heretics throughout this whole series. They've been unable to leverage their strong points, or like what we would imagine the strong points are. Hang on a second. Zamalek slowed down, and Whiten fires back as now Tiger trying to remedy this in the top lane. Doxy finds the stun. A dash in from Ibo. Can Trundle at least get something here in the 1 versus 2? He's against the double buffs on the Wukong. He has to flash away himself as Wairu's already rotated up.
Blurzor is trying to get his lanes ahead. He has been mid lane, forcing flash, he has been top lane, getting another flash, getting another kill. This is exactly what he needs, because his lanes are not set up for success from the individual matchup. Jax jumping in means he can't escape, he flashes out, and yes, UCAM is losing a lot of times and they got the kill, but it's so much fighting over and over again. This has been the composition, and this has been the theme of the series, fighting. We have 3 kills on the board already. There's no flashes on the whole map except for mid lane on top from the side of Heretics. So I'm curious to see how they're going to use the sides of flash from. But there's another coming in. He has red buff.
From the Victor. Duel is there. Can he get the shield again? Covering him on the retreat, and there's Trundle in the back pocket, but so much pressure. Again, you mentioned it, Blurazor. He's all over the place right now, trying to get those lanes in hand.
And he needs to do that. He needs to get those lanes going, because if they don't get this lane going, and especially the mid lane is very, very important, it's going to be a disaster. The longer the game goes, Jax is going to outscale Ornn eventually. However, now it's like, yes, Jax has 4 CS leader, but you can see it's not that easy for him to leverage that lead. So whenever support has the time of moving up, oh, but is this going to be a solo kill? Nah, for sure not. This is not going to be enough. It's
going to hurt a lot, but Doxy going to have a nice setup on that wave. Ibo really not feeling confident walking forward right now, it seems.
And as we come back to bot lane, it's going to be a little bit more relaxed, and we get to talk about what is happening in the game.
Relax, Blackgator. That's a good joke, mate, as Tiger's looking for the gank, but Heretics, they see it coming, they're going to get out.
I can't even speak about relaxing, because relaxing is not going to happen in this game, apparently. No. We see Lee fighting left and right, and we will see this happening probably again and again. I love that Tiger's thinking, okay, I have to pick up the pace. My lanes kind of need support as well. And what I would love to see is that now they push out the mid lane together and then just dive top. They get
aggressive onto Zwairu with the Chaos Storm as well. No ult for Ori, but it's just damage in the end, just going to be pushed back.
And they get their wave to crash in. It's a little bit of damage and won't really affect it that much. However, for me, it's like still, those solo lanes need to be had from UCAM. And it's good that Tiger finally shows up and be like, okay, yes, I cannot let the enemy jungler influence those lanes. I have to do something as well. And Wool is getting looted, but they're actually trying to turn this one.
Knight is down, but the healing from Senna Seraphine is pretty strong. Zamalek takes so much from the high notes coming out of the Seraphine. Dodges the root right there, but has to get back to the tower. Now Wukong's in the area as well.
Looks like they will be getting zone of this wave. Blue Azor's retreating. A bit of normality in this game, and whenever we go back to top lane, I see it like Doxy jumping in, but there's coming the flash out. And the wave is bouncing away. This is not really good for Ibo. Ibo has no flash. If Doxy decides to let this wave freeze, this is a perfect setup for him. And he loses so much golden experience. And he's already down 20 CS roughly. It's 19 right now. It's going to be 20 soon. And yes, the wave is pushing into Doxy. And what I want to see right now is Tiger finishing up those two topside camps and then sitting in the brush. And UCAM needs to understand, okay, we have to put more resources because we need to expect that Blue Azor is coming in order to fix this wave state. And you have seen the Senna in mid, so they know for sure it's coming out. They know for sure they're going to be resource allocated to break this freeze. And I want them to see contesting this.
Exactly, you said it in the draft. The top and mid lane are so important in this game 4 with the drafts we have in front of us now. We've got Jungler in the river, we've got Senna and Wukong from Heretics on the top side, rotating over, and there's the committal of the Ornn ultimate. Doxy will ward jump to safety. That's a big cooldown drop for the Ornn, a nice wave crashing in for him.
They got the wave crashing in for them, which is good. And this could be these are the situations where you can see these fights, where you can see like, oh, this 3v3 fight comes flying out. Jack Spectra is roaming on the map. They're trying to pick up mid here.
Here's the counterplay from UCAM. They force the flash, and now Jack Spectra and Blue are coming in to support the 3 versus 3 potentially, with ults not quite on the cards, except for the mid laners. They'll just retreat. No one wants to put a foot wrong in this 4th game. No one wants to lose control of the early.
And you can see how close these teams are. And you can see how both teams understanding what the enemy team is trying to do. Heretics tried to start up the Herald. UCAM intervented that by going through mid lane, forcing the flash up of Zyro. Getting this flash resulted in not being able to get the Herald for the sides of Heretics. And we get to calm down a bit, but Tiger's here and he's trying to work. They both have sums. This shouldn't be really an issue. It's just gonna be looking at each other, and we're gonna see probably based off this spotting the jungler Heretics getting their hands onto the Herald.
Exactly, Blue Azor just going to be taking it down. They've got control of that mid-wave rotation, easily possible from Zwairu. They got it pushed in the top lane as well. Looks to be an easy pickup on that top side objective. Now Tiger, he's gone back instead, hasn't gone to start up any dragons or try any counterplay across the map. Instead, he's going to come back out onto that top side. Blue Azor, oh my word! What's going on, man? How did they find another 2v2 kill?
2v2 kill again. Ezreal Yubi is so strong, and we have said it in the draft. Yubi is not a champion that should have gone through. It has been banned on red side. And you can see like they're layering up their skill shot, they're hitting it perfectly. Yes, they don't get the second kill, but it's mental edge. And
wait, they just killed Jack Spectra. They killed him again. They must have underdied their Doxy. This is a 2v2 they want. They've got the Trundle, the Subjugate, shredding through the Ornn, and now Doxy. He's dropping low. There's another Cyclone. He's going to be traded back, and it's jungler v jungler, but with no Wukong ult. I feel like Trundle is very happy with this setup. One more chump, or is it? Oh my god, Blue Azor turns it on his head. Meanwhile, bot lane, Heretics died again.
What is happening on this game? Heretics losing on the bot side of the and winning on the top side. And the Wukong passive come in clutch. You get so much armor in these long extended fights. And this is Blue Azor is having a game up onto Tiger. He really stepped up. He really got his lanes in a position where they can fight, and let's just see the replay. There's the TP coming in on, yes, it's just the Ezreal ult sniping him out. Good vision buddy, good human ward from Duel there. They get another kill, and this is the third, like technically 2v2 kill that the bottom side is not going to end. Oh, they killed Seraphine as well. Oh my god.
Just standing in front of them, 1 versus 2 against Yumio. This is not a good idea.
I think Jack Spectre and Whiten are not having the series of their lives, and they're especially not in this game. However, what's good for them is Blue Resource ahead. Blue Resource has to carry this weight. Blue Resource has to keep going. They have to funnel almost all of the resources that they have into these people. Yes, this Herald, they got the Herald. They're looking to contest this Drake. It should be going over them as they're getting low.
Tiger's got the blast cone into the pit, and the rest of Heretics, they're peeling away. Zamalek is so strong, but now the counterplay back onto Ibo, and now Tiger's the one flashing to safety. Blue Resort straight back on the objective. Just the fake out from Heretics, and they'll still walk away with a Drake.
And I like what they have been doing. They realized, okay, the longer we have Ibo in this lane, the top side, it's going to get worse. They sent the Seraphine up the top side to clear this wave for them to not give free plays over to the Jax, which is one focus point. Flashing in, the whole combination.
Oriol there, and Senna as well. Hat tricks with this much pressure, it's impossible to get away.
And this is exactly what we have talking about. Blue Resort going in, Blue Resort picking up the pace of the game. Blue Resort keep throwing in actions, and now it's going to be like the Herald going to be dropped down. It should be just plates, and they're sharing the plates between Jack Spectre and Oriana, and they're not gonna die. Or
don't quite get the root so close, and the pillar, oh, he finds it right at the very end there. He's not gonna make it out. Tiger just about secures it, and the Herald still made it into that mid lane. But remember back to game 1, everybody. Blue Resort's Graves fed out of the early game, so important for them getting that 1 win. Now here we are again, 3-0-1, Blue Resort in the jungle, making everything happen for the Heretics roster.
Heretics needs to rely on Blue Resort to be able to bridge that gap until they be getting this online. And if we look across the board from the levels, you see there's already a level discrepancy between the two top laners. You see there's a massive CS gap in top lane especially. If you compare that, and let's go back to the replay, this is an old school combination. Wukong diving in, flashing in, the Oriana ult comes out on top, they get the quick kill for Blue Resort, and then they try to go for the Herald. And the problem is that now they have Yuumi chasing and Shommel as well, and Heretics get another kill, lose another kill. Jack Spectre dies actually here. Fortunately for them, the kill doesn't go over to the Jax. If the kill goes over to the Jax, that's disaster. And look at this, Zamalek is the same level as Ivo.
Got the exhaust just for the slowdown. They force the flash over the pillar, but this dive should be possible. Tiger follows up, and Zamalek will still be given the credit. Now they'll be able to pressure onto this tower. Heretics, they're answering in the mid lane.
UCAM is finding kills over and over again.
Who's committing? Onto Tiger, and now Zamalek is there. He's not got too much HP though, and Tiger's so low. Senna looks forward, and the burn comes through from the smite, and Blue Resort will find yet another kill. Meanwhile, the turret mid is traded for 1 bot. It's good for Heretics in the end.
Heretics can be happy with this trade. However, oh my god, there's going to be an ambush.
Oh, the Oriana ult's massive hat tricks, really not being allowed to play League of Legends in this game 4.
I guess whoever plays Victor is going to get massively baked and massively going to not have fun.
If they can get the shutdown, it'll be so big for the shutdown onto Zamalek, but there's the center ultimate, just not in time! Zamalek again stepping up.
And he gets the 800 gold shutdown. This is the least person that you would want to go into. He already has 5 kills. It's incredible. Yuumi is going AP. Ezreal has 2 items at 15 minutes. Yes, Trinity Fall. Do you know how expensive this item is? It's so expensive. It's crazy expensive. And he has 2 items. He has already a Union boost. He's set up to carry this game. He's set up to drag UCAM across. And you just have to feel like, okay, Heretics, just not die. And I got this. We come back to the replay. They pick up Ivo here. And then at the back end, there's a bit of a greedy recall, and Blue Resort's trying to punish, gets a red smite at the end, cleans it out. And I think the Senna combination, the Q of Senna, the extended Senna Q plus the burn is what got them the kill at the end. However, then at the end of the replay, we saw like, oh, Zamalek is picking up the 5th kill for himself, the 800 goal shutdown, and now they got the Herald, and it looks like UCAM is in the driver's seat. Oh my goodness.
Yumi moment, everybody, but let's be real here. Zamalek LEC when? Come on now, this guy's had such a great performance. If they win this game, the man's gotta be MVP. What a massive performance from this Polish AD carry. Magvair really sold him to us in that first pre-show, and we're all finding out why he is delivering on every level.
Not only that, he's like...
Oh, Doxy. He's worked his way onto the Wukong, but he's kind of dealing with it pretty well. Ivo rotating over if they can find Blurazor. That's a big piece off the table. Out comes the Ezreal ult. Tiger finds it, and now Ivo left on the front line. Yonkor runs across, and they'll take down the jungle, but now Doxy on the re-engage. Yumi as well with the empowering, and Zamalek ease over the wall. You try to make a play, Heretics. UCAM will not let you just paint skulls on their chests and call them the Punishers.
UCAM coming up clutch in there. You saw at the end of the fight, Doxy getting the stun, which secures him 2 more kills. They still have the Herald. Oh my god, they're playing.
Come on, like... Zamalek. Okay, take it easy, man.
You can really see, but I love to see this. I love when ADCs play on this Ragel's knife, on this edge, where you see, okay, one more misstep, they can die, and you kind of need to do that in order to be perfect. But we come into replay, it looks like Heretics is making a pick on Doxy. Doxy effects the ultimate, and it's really, really tanky. Gets out, gets a heal from Yumi. They get the first kill. As I said, Trundle and Ornn interaction, he just steals all the resistances, makes him really, really squishy. They get the second kill, they get the third kill because of the beautiful setup by Doxy. And we should be coming out of this replay, and the Drake is not being taken. And this is really good. This is something that we talked about. We said, oh, Heretics has to put more attention to these Drakes, and they've been doing this. Now they get the chance to have themselves a soul point. Nah, this should be a bug. This is a bug.
See what it is. We might get lucky with the Observer. They might check what pit it is, or what's the... What? Oh, it's Hextech. Oh my word, it's Hextech Soul. The one time Heretics look like they're positioned to get Drake, and it's one of the best Drakes of the game.
And it's crazy that, because these, I love speaking about the Hextech map. Yes, the Drake itself is cool. However, you have more opportunities for flanking. And think about how are you going to get Zamalek down. You need to be able to get a flank. You need Blurazor on a flank. You need something to burst him instantly, because if he lives, I do not think you're going to win this fight. I do not think if Zamalek is able to free hit, which he's going to be able to do because he has the flank, because he's so slippery, and he's going to do a massive times the damage if he's allowed to hit. So let's see how Heretics is able to get control into this game, get more maybe to Soul, and even get those team fights.
We might be looking for Tiger here, but Blurazor is giving him the space. Orianna is there too. They might look for the re-engage. Hatrix waiting to see if there's aggression. While for UCAM, they have put Doxy into that side lane. We said the Jax, that threat coming out of the Jax in the side lane is a very real possibility, and they are starting to leverage that now. We have a slight freeze on the feed. We're going back through and no one's dead. It's okay.
I want to take the second to really think about what should be happening in this game, and I like that Tiger and Whiten are securing Hatrix being able to farm, because this is super important. You send the person that you like. This is a good example of a shift, right? You get in the mid lane prior, you have your ADC pushing it, and then you shift towards the side while Hatrick is building a slurper, so he doesn't get caught on that building of slurpage, and therefore obviously engage coming in.
Is the commitment onto the front line, but Hatrix and Zamalek standing way back into the back line. Flashing from Whiten finds nobody. The Encore can't keep the fight going, but look at the fight from Ivo. Doxy's the target. Zamalek dives forward and finds the mid laner and gets out alive. Doxy as well. UCAM, they navigate the flank to perfection, but Zamalek, will he be allowed to live? Gets the arcane shift, healed up by the Zoomies. Doxy cancelled on the leap strike. Ivo with an excellent charge forward, and they'll find one more.
At the end of the day, I think it's 2 for 2. So an even trade. However, this is exactly what happens. They needed to put a stop to the bleeding. They couldn't afford themselves to lose another chariot here, because you can see, like, even though it was very, very close, still Ezreal was able to live, and this is not going to get easier. Once he has the Cerella's clutch, he's going to have more utility. But come back in the replay, we see Bruiser going in, and he's actually the first one who's going down, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful flash from Tiger to avoid the Seraphine Art with complete twist. See Ibo on the flank. He decides not to ult the Tiger. He decides to ult the Jax, gets stunned, and they get one more kill. Yes, Trundle goes down, but so does Wukong, and then here beautiful knockoff by Ibo, gets Doxy, kill over to Jack Spectra, 600 gold for him, and now it's like, okay, how are they gonna play for these T2s, and how are they actually gonna pick up the next Drake? Because I think what we're gonna see is like a bit of farming, getting Ezreal to third items, getting Heretics to second item, which he has now completed, Void Sub as alongside as the Liandry, so he's gonna rip those tanks through, and it's very, very interesting to see how this game's gonna unfold.
Exactly. I'm really watching to see how UCAM can manage this lead they have themselves. We touted them as a team that is great at closing out games. They've got the lead. Their team is playing hot. They are playing red hot right now. Zamalek, Hatrix, Tiger, Doxy, everyone is finding their moments to step up, but pushing lanes into Wukong, Orianna, Ornn is so scary, man. You can see the threat of the sudden engage when you're trying to crash that wave is so high.
And you can see like the demonstration of like, they have really good understanding how to play the map, because what you always see is like, okay, if we send Victor into the mid lane, he's not only lose the push, he's not going to get prior, but he's also very easy to pick up, because the second that Ibo has the ability to move, he's going to look for these off engage. And this is what we have been talking about the draft. This is the time where UCAM just has to respect and wait for the side waves to come in. Once the side wave has been crashed, Heretics is forced to do something, but we see in early grouping in the sideways are actually fine in both sides. So there's not going to be much deciding unless like someone is going to the mid lane. And now we see Doxy spin a sideway and start pressing. Start pressing, and this is the time where Heretics is actually on time. They have to force this engage right now.
Ibo goes for Zamalek, doesn't land the ult, doesn't find the charge, but Zamalek did still lose his cleanse. Blurazor searching, can't find it, and now Doxy has come into the backline and maybe will look for an angle. You said before we started this game, you don't want to see UCAM opting for the 5v5s, but they get straight onto Jack Spectra and UCAM, and the Encore comes out, but will they find the kills? Wyro, he's trapped in the pit, has to flash to safety. Blurazor finds his way onto the backline, but he's just losing it. Zamalek, once again, stepping up massively in the fight, and he does not have any threats against him right now. Tiger holding down Whiten. They're looking to knock down this front line. Flash away from Ibo. Heretics, you've got to be happy that so many people managed to make it out, but now they're not being allowed to leave. Wyro deep into the wrong side of the map. He's never going to be let out of this one alive.
He's surely going to get picked up by either or the other. Okay, that's a Yumi Q.
Okay.
300 damage, 300 gold, and Heretics not only will lose the fight, this could be it. This could be the deciding factor. This could be the fight that bridges them over the edge. They get to deny the soul point for the side of Heretics. They pick up the Drake, and now, if you're looking down at Heretics, you really need to understand how your composition works. And you really need to understand that you need to be able to combine on ult with the Wukong knockdown. And as we go in here, you see Dox in the flank, he instantly checks Spectra, and now they try to ult in them. Orianna has to flash out the pit, has no ultimate, and you can see in the backline, Bruzo is trying to 1v2 the mid lane and the ADC. Hatrix lives, and now it's just the Mullet show. There's no engage anymore, no ult. He can freely, he can walk up and do whatever he wants. He hits like a truck, he gets Ivo at the end of it. They will chase Zyro, which will pick up eventually by the Yumi later on. They got the Drake, and now it's a question of like, how is Heretics going to come back in this game, and is there even a chance to come back in this game?
They have to find that perfect fight, right? As you said, they've got to set up that CC correctly. They've got to layer it right onto the important targets, and frankly, you've got to deal with Zamalek. If this guy is not taken completely out of the fight, he is doing so much work as soon as the pressure is off him. As soon as he allows a free fire on this Ezreal, he's doing epic amounts of damage in these fights. And Heretics, they're still maybe looking for an angle, but oh my god. This Yumi damage, man, it's really a little bit illegal.
It was actually a UBQ and an SUQ landing on top of each other, so it looked like it was a UBQ. But yeah, it's not. If you see this coming out, you're like, well, damn, son, we got some problems over here. And it's just for UCAM, they don't have to play picture perfect macro. They just have to wait and be like, okay, we're just gonna wait for us to set up correctly. We're gonna put down the vision. And what I would like to see them is always make sure that Heretics is allowed to farm. And you can see that. You can see as a jungle main, right? You see how Tiger is always in the area of when Heretics is farming a lane and farming a wave in the side lane, so he can go for those waves without being staffed so much. And now, yes, he was 0-2, but it doesn't matter right now. He's on building the death cap, he has his 2 items, and how are you gonna catch Ezreal? Like, look how safely positioned the Ezreal is, and he can get the prio without anyone contesting. And at the same time, Doxy is building up the side waves, and whenever they don't get disengaged, it's huge. You can see whenever, like, this timing is where, oh my god.
We found Doxy. They have the 2 versus 1, but Jax is so strong now. Senna is getting whopped on by the lamppost, but there's a knock-up from Ivo. Another leap strike, and he finds it. He gets the lifeline shield, and Doxy takes the 1v2 and walks away happy.
And you can see his face on the cam, how happy he is, and be like, he sits himself right now, and be like, come at me, bro. He ain't got a chance. And this is like what UCAM is. Oh my goodness.
It has to be a steal, right? Lurazor's got to find a steal, but they're not giving him the chance. Zamalek again, all the way over, and he's already been eliminated. Hat-tricks covering with Whiten as well. They can turn back for the Baron. UCAM, it is too clean, man. When they're ahead, they just don't throw.
And what a Cinderella story, always coming through. UCAM gets the Baron. They're on the brink of defeating the EU Masters Champion. And Hat-tricks has said it. They are just another finals like we are today.
Yeah.
They are on the verge on defeating it. What a story that would be. But for now, let's see how they unfold. And what we can see for them is beautiful. Because they're playing at least 2 lanes. Whenever you have Nash up, or like the Baron power push, you do not want to play 1 lane. And you can see them having 2 lanes push. Jack Spectra has like, oh my god, but Cyrus dead.
Tiger, oh, they got the flash, but can they follow up with the dive? No stun found on the counter-strike, but Doxy still leaping forwards. Doesn't want to overdo it, though. Don't throw it now. You've got the Baron. You have everything you need to close out this series, UCAM. It feels sometimes right now like they cannot put a foot wrong, but maybe there is a limit. Maybe they're going to run out of energy. Doxy certainly isn't running out of energy. Dives forward, but doesn't find the kill. He's been knocked up in the chase down coming through from Ivo, but Zamalek, the flanking Ezreal Yumi gets the roots up. Look at those Heretics HP bars. They're falling down 1 by 1. Triple kill for Ezreal. Chasing down the Ornn. Back onto the fountain. This could be the final push.
This could be the final shot, and it should. Yeah, okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. But this should be it. This should be the game for the sides of UCAM. You saw why it's important to play 2 lanes with setup, and look at them! They have done it!
They're fighting through it! 2022 was a harsh mistress for UCAM, but it will come to a triumphant conclusion as for the first time, UCAM will take home the Iberian Cup!
And look how happy they are, look on the joy of their faces, and you saw Hat-tricks walking over to Zamalek Kagane and be like, thank you my bro for getting this game, and what a Cinderella story for them. Almost being relegated in summer, and then making this run through this bracket with the fearlessness, with all the obstacles. You cannot imagine how happy these players have been, and what a redemption story for them. And on the other side, commiserations for the side of Heretics. They played very well in the first game, and they look like they can take any game here. But at the end of the day, UCAM on top. Congratulations for UCAM. What a game and what a series.
Absolutely right. The Heretics, Blue Resort especially, they went down swinging and scratching and clawing. They did show why they arrived here into the finals, but today, UCAM, for me, they were strictly better. They had the nameplates off and they just clowned on them a little bit. Zamalek and Duel, what a duo in the bot lane. So many 2v2 kills, so many game-winning fights.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2v2, but they were crazy. Zamalek came in and were like, nah, I'm gonna take this trophy from you. You might be going to the LEC, Today, you're just another AD carry in Male, and what I'm so happy for them, especially like for Samalek and Duel. And you have seen them, they coming over from the NLC, having those really rough times, and then being able at the end of the year to pick it up. And congratulations as we get to the trophy hoisting.
Here it is.
With the
so well deserved.
Yes.
So well deserved. The Iberian Cup for UCAM there, as we said before. So much struggle for them, and Doxy's trying to take it. He's trying to rob them, trying to walk away with that one, but honestly, give that plate to Zamalek. What a day for him. There's the hoist, and if he's not the MVP, I'm going to start a riot.
Yeah, I think Zamalek should be the MVP, and you can see the smarts of Heretics, and it's really important that he said it. They are just another finalists, and we just have to beat them. And it's really happy. I'm really happy for those players to have this moment and being able to look forward to go to 2023. And yeah, I'm so happy for them, as well as the coaching staff. And you can see him jumping around and be like, oh yes, this is great. It's great to win something. And congratulations to them once again. And that was an incredible series.
It really was, right? It's a 3-1, yes, but it had, as you said, right after game one, we were like, it's too much, we're done, that's enough action for one day. And they had so much more to offer for us, and there's so much to